All right, so we're going to get to three-dimensional shapes now. So we're going to look at volumes. We're going to start with volume of a box, then we'll get to cylinders. All right, so volumes means we fill up a three-dimensional space. Right, that's what it is. That's what we're looking for. So a volume of a box, and so a box would be, like if you had a box in front of you, there's three sides to it. All right, there's the length, which typically we do the length as the one that's right in front of you, so this would be the length, the width, and then the height, which can also be called the depth of the box, how deep the box is. And the volume, well, we want to know how much space this three-dimensional object would take. And so that's what if I were to fill up the box, how much would it be? What would be the volume of the box? How many units of whatever it is we're looking for fill up the particular box we're looking at? And the units on these, well, since we are going to take, when we find the volume, it's the length times width times height. The units are cubic because it's three times what, there are three numbers, so it's going to be three times the unit value. So cubic units, so cubic feet, feet cubed, inches cubed, meters cubed, and so on. These are our cubic units. All right, so let's look at some examples. All right, so the first example is a simple box. So we have a box here. Here's the shape drawn out for you. We're told that the width is 4 inches, the length is 12 inches, and the height is 5 inches. All right, so that would be the height, the width, and the length. What is the volume of the box? So how much space does the box take up? Well, volume is length times width times height. So it would be our 12 inches times our 4 inches times our 5 inches. And when you multiply 12 times 4 times 5, remember it's be inches times inches times inches, so we're going to get cubic inches. The volume comes out to be 240 cubic inches. All right, that's how much space that box would take up. All right, so let's do some more examples. These are more application types. So this is an application type. So suppose that I wanted to fill, so this is whenever we're filling stuff up. All right, when we're filling up a pool or filling up, in this case, we're going to make a concrete sidewalk. So we're going to fill up space with concrete in order to make a sidewalk. That's volume, all right, when we're filling stuff up. All right, so we want to create a concrete sidewalk. So we need to know how much cement do we need to pour to make a sidewalk that will be 4 feet wide, 10 feet long. Assume the depth will be 3 inches. The depth would be the height. All right, that's how deep it is. All right, how much cement do we need in cubic feet and then cubic yards? So we'll get to the answers. Before though I get started, what you should notice when you read the problem is that 2 of the units are in feet. 1 of the units is in inches. And so whenever you get started with anything, whether it's areas, perimeters, volumes, whatever it is, you always want to make sure the measurements are in the same units. So in this case, we've got the length is in 100 feet, width is in 4 feet, but height is in 3 inches. And so that's the one I need to change. Plus I want to put it in feet anyway. So we need to convert, before we get started, the height to feet. All right, so again, you can always look it up on the conversion table. Oh, this is one where you should know that 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. All right, so we'll start with 3 inches as the height, right? The height is in 3 inches. We use our conversion factor. We want to get rid of inches, so you put 12 in the bottom because we want to cancel out inches. The foot in the top because we want to keep feet, so inches cancel. Canceled my 12, didn't mean to. Inches cancel. And so when we write this out, we're going to take 3 times the conversion factor 1/12 to get 3 over 12 are 1/4 of a foot. So my height is 1/4 of a foot. 3 inches is exactly the same as 1/4 of a foot. And again, that should make sense. 3 inches is 1/4 of a foot. All right, now I'm ready to get started. Now we're ready to find the volume, which will tell me how much cement I need. We'll first find it in cubic feet. and then we'll get to cubic yards. All right, so I'm going to draw the shape out just so you can see it. So what you do when you're building a sidewalk is what they'll do is they'll dig into the ground as far as they want. So in this case, the depth is 1/4 of a foot, right? 3 inches. That would be the depth, which in our shape is the height. The length was 100 feet. The width was 4 feet. So this would be the sidewalk, right? This is what we'd fill up with cement. And so we want to find the volume of that. Well, the volume is length times width times height. So volume would be 100 times 4 times 1/4. Which was nice about this because it comes out 4s. The 4s actually will end up canceling each other out. If you multiply it out, it should come out to exactly 100. And remember, that's my cubic feet. All right, feet cubed. So they need 100 cubic feet of cement or concrete. It'll turn into cement once it dries, concrete. All right, well, we did the cubic feet. Then they also asked, this is where sort of a throwback to an old question from the first unit. We want to know, well, what would that be in cubic yards? So now I need to convert to yards. Specifically, cubic yards. So yards cubed. All right, so if you go look up in your table, you get for every 1 yard, it's equal to 3 feet. Well, I want to go from 100 feet cubed to yards cubed. And so I need this to be in cubes. So either you're going to have to multiply 3 times, or I actually think the easiest way is to just cube both sides. And so 1 cubed is 1, so you get 1 yard cubed. 3 cubed, which would be 9. Or sorry, not 9, that's squared. 27, 3 cubed. 27 feet cubed. All right, so that would be the conversion factor that I use. All right, so we start off with 100 feet. We're going to multiply by the conversion factor. I want to get rid of feet cubed, so I'm going to divide by the 27 feet cubed. Up top is my 1 yard cubed. The feet cubed cancel out, leave me with the yard cubed, so it's going to end up being 100 divided by 27 will give me my yards cubed. If I simplify that, that simplifies to 3.7. Double check, 3.7. 100 divided by 27. 3.70, yeah, so I'm just going to round to 3.7 yards cubed would be the cubic. All right, so 100 cubic feet is equal to 3.7 cubic yards. All right, and that's an example of volume when we're dealing with a box. All right, so the next volume we're going to look for is cylinders, and I'll get to that in the next set of notes.